Celtic aren't the pace setters at the moment then, because they're not top of the league, but in your mind, are they the title favourites, Paul?
I think so. I think so. Just obviously the way he's got. Rangers have got a lot of tricky games coming up. I mean, they'll get Hibs, Hearts, so on and so forth. Then obviously you've got the derby just before New Year's Day. So no, I think it's only some of pace setting at the moment.
Barry, Celtic are title favourites according to Paul.
Yeah, Paul's obviously entitled to his own opinion. I think it's going to go down to the wire, Paul. I don't care what anybody says. I think there's going to be points dropped throughout the season. This is not going to be one of these ones. Last year Rangers won it by 25 points. Previous seasons Celtic running away with it. I think it's going to get right down to the last couple of games of the season. I still think there'll be points dropped, because I think the teams this year are stronger. You look at Hearts coming up for the Championship, had a great start to the season. When Hibs get their act together and play like they did against Rangers last week in the semi-final, they're a decent team as well. So there's a lot of good teams. I think both Celtic and Rangers will drop some points going forward, and I think, as I said, it's going to go right down to the wire. It's going to maybe even go down to the last game of the season. That's the way I see it.
I think it will be, Barry, I totally agree with you. I mean, I think it will be sort of right down to the wire, because, I mean, obviously, what's going to be harder as well is obviously if they keep on progressing in Europe. I mean, okay, Celtic's dropped into the conference side of it, but the more games to play in Europe, you know yourself, the players start getting more tired.
Yep. And
it's going to be, and they will be dropping points, but the way it's sort of like, I can see Rangers dropping more points. I definitely think he's will sell. I think he's going to lose a couple of key players.
Who do you think's going, Paul?
Kent. I think Kent will go. I think he'll go to Villa. Got a funny feeling, and I think maybe Barisic as well.
Yep. January's going to be big. Is Rangers going to be able to keep their best players? Is Rangers going to be able to bring anybody in? Is Gio going to be allowed to go and spend a bit of money? Because certainly, I think there's Ange Postecoglou is going to have finances, but as we all know, January's a difficult window. You'd normally get players who are maybe out the team, out of favour, out of form. That's the type of players you get. But listen, January's going to be massive, Paul, for both of them. It'll be interesting to see. Obviously, Rangers had their losses. They need to then go and sell. But I watched Gio's presser, they made it clear that they don't need to sell unless it's for the right price. But January's always big. It'll be interesting to see who both Rangers and Celtic bring in.
It's going to be interesting to see if Rangers hold their nerve, Leanne, maybe during the January transfer window, and hold out for the £40 million that would come their way if they won the title at the end of the season.
Yeah, I think I'll agree with what Barry says. I think January and Paul as well, it'll be hugely significant. I think this winter period always is. We've seen it over the last number of seasons, the way the league's played out, whether that points deficit narrows or either side of the Old Firm goes on and creates quite a considerable gap that's unrecoverable, and has been unrecoverable for both sides of the Old Firm in the last 2 seasons. So I think recruitment will be massive, but what you've got is 2 managers that probably are still a bit unknown in that sense in the Scottish market, how they'll recruit, who they'll bring in, and that could define the season, because if Celtic go and they recruit really well and they get players in like Jota and Kyogo and have that same type of influence on the team, that could be massive over the course of the season, and certainly when it comes down to the derby games. But it's like that, Van Bronckhorst could do the exact same at Rangers and bring in players that he's had a close eye on that people don't know an awful lot about, and I think players will go, but either side of the Old Firm you could see a bit of movement. Kent, there's been a lot of speculation around that. I'd be surprised if that doesn't either happen quite quickly in the market or that it drags on throughout that transfer window. But surely Van Bronckhorst is coming into Rangers with a plan B, and he's not coming in to stand still and allow Rangers to stagnate, and he's in a good position, so he would be looking to build on that. But it's up to both sets of players. Barry will know that as well. Who can hold their nerve, who can kick on, who can perform under pressure. Sorry, Paul.
If you look at sort of the business aspect to it, I think Rangers are they've got to buy, they need to sell players. Let's be honest.
I don't know so much now though, Paul, but even when I look at that, because they are still in Europe as well, so I think Rangers probably could bank on the fact that they're in a really strong position, and remaining in Europe will generate more cash, and if you can go and win the title, it will generate more cash again. So I don't think the immediate concern right now in this moment where they've got a stronghold on the league campaign with a 4-point deficit, they would be thinking that they need to sell players. But maybe I'm wrong. That's just how I would see it. I think you would put all your eggs in the one basket and you would go and try and bankroll success now rather than stepping back for that.
Because look what you're getting in May. You're getting £40 million.
If you win you're gambling, aren't you?
Yeah. Listen, I think it's a gamble you've got to take as well. Because listen, £40 million into the coffers as Rangers, it'll clearly help them with obviously the losses they've had, and obviously Celtic will look to go and strengthen to try and get that pot of gold come the middle of May. I know what I would do if I was Rangers. Gio, I don't think Gio would have took the job. I think he would have asked them, listen, am I going to keep this core group? These are important players for me. I don't think he would have come in. It's going to be a fire sale. I think that might happen. You might see 1 or 2 go at the end of the season. I would be surprised if I seen it in January.
Tell Alexa to launch Go Radio or listen on the Go Radio app.